Hey, it's James, Fathers Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. So here I go. I mean, my gender is going to get offended at just about everything. This is why I tell you guys, 90% of dads don't really want to fight, don't give a crap, are a bunch of sensitive little crybaby wimps. And if I was to change and be all real nice, I would probably make a lot more money, have a lot more fans, but guys would still lose because they wouldn't wake up to reality. I'd be doing what Judge Anthony and Family Court Corner and all these con artists are doing, telling people a bunch of nice stuff and play nice and be nice. So even when I tolerate something from some stupid jackass and I'm civil in responding and we have a dialogue, he still gets offended. So I just did a video on the Blasting TV 9544. The guy posted, I responded to him and I did a video. And this is a great example of how insane and overly sensitive or stupid my gender is. This guy came on and said, I've dealt with James before. I had to cut him off. He says good stuff, but he's a dick. And he comes across this way, but he still knows some stuff. So he had a mix of compliments and a mix of insulting stuff. And I pinned his comment. The average person would say, oh, you called me a dick, blah, blah, blah. So I did a video talking about what he said. And the point of my video was like, even though he said some insulting stuff, I get what he's saying. And I clarified some stuff. The guy still got offended after he went on a big long diatribe talking about me being a dick and he didn't need my help and you guys could do it yourself. Now, most people in my position might get offended and say, oh, this guy is bad for business. Let me delete that. I pinned his comment. So then what happened? He further commented on my page. And I even asked him, like, and I nicely asked him just to open the floor. He said that we had a consult before. I said, when we had a consult, was I a dick then? And if so, how? I gave him the floor for that. So the point of my video back here where I'm talking about his original comment. So let's just call him the blasting. So the blasting guy is blasting me and calling me a dick and then says some complimentary stuff mixed with some stuff you don't need, James. And I did find myself and I went to mediation, which doesn't mean shit that the other side agreed because they settled out of court, which means she was going to settle anyway, which means that his attack that, oh, you don't really need James. He had a woman that was willing to settle. So that's not that big of a deal. And he's bragging about going to mediation and her agreeing. Well, that has to do with her agreeing and not necessarily him playing hardball. Anyway, he said he took some stuff from me and he gleaned off of it, but then I'm a dick. So then my point of my video is like, some people are going to be a dick. Your boss, Michael Jordan, was a dick. Tom Brady was a dick. But they were trying to win, and those guys are going out to battle. A drill sergeant is a dick. Your lead commander in a military battle. There's no time to sit around and goof around and be sensitive. So then he comes on my video, and he says in the comments, I'm talking to my legislators, and we're trying to fix stuff. And I said, if I just did a video on this, and I said, if you're talking to your legislators about making 50-50 laws, that's not going to change because I've seen it go on for 60 years. So I'm an expert, and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But he's going to his legislator trying to do stuff. And I'm telling him, I just did a video on this. If you go to your legislature and they change the laws to 50-50, and they don't change it to unless the person is convicted of child abuse or convicted in criminal court of domestic violence or molestation, then the 50-50 laws have no point. Because again, if you say, oh, presumption of 50-50 unless there's abuse and stuff, the mother will just say abuse and the court will believe her. But if you have a higher burden to prove abuse, like you have a criminal conviction, then it would be effective. That's all I told this guy, and he got all butthurt, and then he said he's not subscribing, which I don't give a shit about because he's obviously an overly sensitive feminine dude because he calls me a dick and he says, I was giving you compliments and then you did this video and you misunderstood. The fact that I even did a civil video where I'm talking about after he called me a dick, this is my approach and stuff like that. He's the one who called me a dick. There's something feminine about guys who provoke stuff or gaslight or say offensive stuff. And then if you say, okay, this is what happened, and and he misunderstood my point, and he's telling me, James, you misunderstood me. I meant as a compliment. And I acknowledge that he said nice stuff. And then he acknowledged, he said, you totally misconstrued what I said. Go back and read it. Yeah, I called you a dick, but that was because of this and that. So he just admitted that I was correct, that he called me a dick and said something offensive. But then he said, you totally misinterpreted what I said. I didn't say anything offensive. And then now he's going to unfollow me, unsubscribe. I don't give a shit. Hopefully at mediation his case settled, but if it didn't settle, he's going to come across some struggles where he's going to be lost. This guy actually, and all I did was tell him, you're wasting your time with legislators, if you're talking to them and they're promising to do stuff. I've told people over and over in videos, the changing of laws will not fix stuff, and I just did a recently updated video about that. So let's take a look at what he said and see this madness I have to deal with. This is why, you guys, I have to just do what I do the way that I do it. If I change the way that I do, all these people are going to be pissed. If I change it to another way to cater to these people, all these people are going to be pissed. There's always going to be a guy who's going to be offended for no reason. I get guys who are offended because during the consultation I say, hey, what do your court orders say? Well, back in high school, me and the mom, we used to walk to school together and held hands, and we stopped at the soda shop on the way, and her favorite bubble gum was strawberry, and my favorite was cinnamon, and blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, can you just tell me what your court order says? Oh, yeah. So we went to court to start and file and get the court order. And if I let you guys, I could easily hustle people out of so much more money. If I let you guys dictate the conversation, you're the one who's totally lost, and you're calling me for help. And so I will ask questions, court orders, history this, history that. Okay, now we can start talking about stuff. Okay, you're getting off on a tangent. Let's reel it back in. And then people will get mad and butthurt because they can't ramble on like like they're on The View just rambling and gossiping and yak, 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 yak. And they're not even wanting solutions. They just want to yak and whine and cry. I'm not here for that. I'm here to give you solutions. So sometimes I have to reel people in. I had to do it today. I had to do it the other day with somebody else. Because if I just sit back and let you guys talk, and a lot of times when people are talking about stuff that doesn't matter, they'll say it over and over and over again. I got it. Let's move on to do something that helps you. And so I'm the a-hole because you have a feminine desire or you have an ego where you think that you need to tell me what you think you need to tell me. And you're the one who's totally lost and I'm the expert. And I'm just trying to get down to the nitty-gritty. If you go see a doctor and you say, and you got like pain that might be, I don't know, it might be chest pain, it might be lung, it might be throat, and you're like, I'm in pain. Well, where's your pain? Well, I was watching TV the other day, and there's this great episode of Friends, or I was watching this football game. Did you know that the 49ers did this and that? And you're, dude, where's your pain? We're here at the doctor's office to get to the root of the problem. Oh, yeah, let me get back. Okay, so when I was a kid, I used to have an issue that's kind of the same, and you're not getting to the point. He's only asking for you to point where the pain is so he can touch you and feel and see if he can get down to it and ask you more questions. But you can't get to the answer because you won't even answer the first question. So a doctor would easily get frustrated because he has a limited amount of time to ask you questions to diagnose the issue. This is what I deal with all the time. People are so emotionally distraught and out of whack, and they're totally lost, and they call me up, and they start talking and dominating the conversation like they're the expert. Or people will tell me in the comments, the way that you do this, I don't like it. And like this last guy, you're a dick. And so I said, okay, you might think I'm a dick, but this is why I do stuff the way that I do it. And he said, you totally misconstrued what I said. Oh yeah, I called you a dick, but blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna unsubscribe. So let's take a look at his comment. So here's my video. And then I'm replying to his comment in this other video where you can click on that and then you can see where he called me a dick but made comments. And then he said, I don't know if they will do anything, but I'm pushing to make change. And so I commented and I said, the representatives are not going to change anything unless they do this. So he goes, okay, I go in front of the people who can make change and change these laws, and he's a stupid jackass because I just proved how it's not going to work in multiple videos. And I sit before them like he got butthurt because he has an agenda to change stuff, and I say it's not going to work. It hasn't worked in 60 years with thousands of other guys and hundreds of fathers' rights groups. If you're going to say I'm a loser, fine. So then he exaggerates this like a baby mama and creates a whole bunch of drama. This is a stupid ass bullcrap.